And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. I'm not doing this one solo today, though. I'm joined by a very special guest, Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic. How you doing, man?
Good. I am very excited, and we were talking off stream. This has probably been like a year in the making. I
Yeah.
mean, we've collabed in the past quite a few times. I feel like with the pandemic, that's definitely what people did was they had a lot more time on our hands. But no, it's been a long time coming. But I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys. So let's do it.
No, yeah, it's good to get back together again. It'd been like damn near over a year, I think. It's been quite a while, but we're back in business, as they say. And I see we already got some people in here, so fire off your questions. We'll get to as many of them as we can, and who knows how long this thing will go. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Robin says, I'm excited. Well, I'm pumped too.
Me too.
Let's see. I always get these keep, watch, burn questions in the chat. So this is the first one of the stream. It's
I
a
always
staple.
notice that about your streams that I watch.
Mhm.
Like and it's always Stranger Things, MCU,
Yeah.
Star Wars. It's always those
I've
three. It's
answered-
like keep, watch, burn. Yeah.
Well, I want to
There
get
it
your 2
is.
cents on this because I've answered this one like a million times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've only seen a couple of episodes of Stranger Things, so I
Yeah.
still have yet to actually like really watch it. So from a technical standpoint, I gotta burn that one just because I
Yeah.
haven't actually really seen those. And keep and watch. So I guess watch would be just watch once, and then keep would be like you can watch.
Yeah,
whenever
watch
you
would be
want.
like you watch through once, keep you can watch whenever, and burn like you never see it and you just boom, it's gone.
Okay.
Or maybe you've seen them and then you just like burn it.
Gotcha. So yeah, keep is Star Wars, then watch MCU.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I usually end up saying I burn the MCU, which is like crazy to think because I do love I do love a lot of the MCU.
Yeah.
But I personally have sort of soured on recent projects. I think you kind of share the same sentiment. Like it just doesn't have pizzazz it once did.
Yeah, and I always say this too. It's like it's just the excitement level. Like I'm seeing Ant-Man next week. If I see Ant-Man and it just blows my socks off, and I'm like, this is the best movie ever, I will completely say it's amazing. But am I like counting down the days for an MCU movie anymore? No. Ever since Endgame, I haven't really done that. I guess No Way Home was a bit different.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, like that was the one where I was like over the moon excited. Like I'm also seeing Quantumania next week, and like I'm very excited. I want to love it. That's the thing, though. It's like I go into these movies now, and it's like I just want to love this movie. I try not to hype myself up, or even like I've barely even read into any early reactions for the movie, just because I want to try and go in fresh for this one. So
yeah, me too.
I see a question we'll get to in a second from Cobra Kai that I know you'll like regarding a certain famous actor, but we'll get there in a second.
All right. Okay.
Let's see. Alex is in the house. What's good, Alex? How you doing, man?
Hey, Alex.
Welcome in. Let's see. Brady Bear, what's good? My thoughts on Wakanda Forever are that the movie was sad and it was executed well. How about you? Yeah, I guess we can talk about that real quick. It's on Disney Plus now, right? It just hit it. I've seen the movie twice, and I don't know. It's like weird, but I think the last time I watched it, November, and I haven't really thought about it since. I've sort of adapted that now with MCU movies. It's like I just forget the project. It's like I watch it, and then like I talk about it a bunch, and I get like my thoughts out like it's a therapist, like I'm having like a therapy session, and then I just kind of forget about it. So that sadly is the case with that. How did you feel about that movie?
You know what? You bring up a good point. I wanted to ask you about this. Do you think it's like for me, I know that a lot of people, and I know a lot of YouTubers fall into this trap, and I've fallen into this trap too, where it's like a movie comes out, oh, I loved the movie, 5 out of 5. 2 days later, you never think about it again. And you're like, oh yeah, I saw that. I gave it a perfect score. And is that just because you're hyped over the movie and you're really excited for it, but it has no lasting impact? Or is it because we're YouTubers now and the content that we consume is at a much higher volume? I'm not sure. Or is just the project not as good?
It's toughy because when you said that, I thought of a movie that I gave like 5 out of 5 stars, and that movie was Last Night in Soho. And like I just, for whatever reason, when the credits were, I was like, damn, I love that movie. And I haven't watched it since. So I don't know. Like it's a very weird sensation. I do think that we both do like movie content all the time. And so like we're consuming a lot. And I feel like that plays into it because back in like when I was like 2015, when I was like in high school or whatever, Like I would
Mhm.
just watch movies or shows I want to watch, and I would like rewatch those movies. I wasn't seeking out as much new content, so that could play into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, definitely could.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you're like, I was the same way. Like I was watching, AMC Movie Talk. I was watching Collider and the
Yeah,
Jedi
yeah.
Council and all that stuff. So like you're consuming all that stuff, but now that we're making it, I consume less of that. Like
Mhm.
I'm on Twitter less, I see, some of the bigger YouTubers post things once in a while, but I don't really keep in touch with the talk of the town. It's more of like, okay, well, all I can control is if I see a movie and if I like it or not. It's all I can control. I can't really get into speculation, just because we don't even know if it's going to happen, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's coming back as Superman. What are your thoughts? And I go, I'm going to wait. Wait for what, right? But the question that Brady asked, my thoughts on Wakanda Forever. I liked the movie. Haven't thought about it since. My big problem with it was that it was doing a lot of the whole like, let's set up this completely different MCU thing.
Yeah.
What's her name? Ironheart. Was that it?
Mhm. She was
Yeah.
my
So
like
like,
favorite part, but it clearly was a setup for a show that comes out in like the fall, I think.
yeah, and it's like, okay, so yeah, this is all good and everything, but what does this have to do with Black Panther Wakanda Forever? So it's kind of like you're telling the Black Panther story. We're going to tell this story, and then we're going to go
Yeah.
back to this story, and then it ends up being 2.5 hours long. Um,
It's way
yeah,
too damn
and
long. That was one of my biggest peeves was the pacing. Like it would just like
yeah,
halt drastically, and I would be like, what is the plot of this movie?
yeah, that. And other than that, though, I enjoyed it. I think that was just the biggest gripe was focus. That's
Mhm.
my only one.
Yeah. This is a fun little question from Alex. It's not really related to the movie sphere, which I love those types of questions, by the way. What's the
Hmm.
best amusement park you've ever been to? Fire away, my friend.
You
It's
know,
tough,
it's
right?
funny. I was just talking about this with my girlfriend because we went to Disney World in Florida last year.
Mhm.
She's been to Disneyland 17 times, but she'd
Wow.
never been to Disney World. So I'm like, well, we got to go to Disney World. So we
Yeah,
went to
got
Disney
to.
World last year, and I'd been there before a couple times. And I do love Disney World, but it's a different experience than Disneyland. I think in Disneyland, because everything's so close, so compact, there's really no room for quote unquote bad rides. You have the best rides all compacted together, and there's a bit of history there. Like, I mean, you look at the castle in Disneyland, it's so small, so tiny,
Tiny.
but that was the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at
Yeah.
the effects of the original Star Wars, it's like, oh, it was made in the 70s, but it was the original, and it
Hmm.
has that magic to it. So I love Disney World, but I'm gonna have to go with Disneyland. Shout out to Great America in San Francisco.
Okay.
And I mean, locally we have the P&E Playland, the North America's oldest wooden roller coaster is in Vancouver, and every time you go on it, you feel like you're gonna die because you feel like the thing's gonna just break.
Yeah. There's
Um,
this one called
yeah.
like the Great American Scream Machine in Six Flags. It's like an old wooden roller coaster, and
Hmm.
everyone I never rode it. I was too scared when I was young. But everyone says like you do feel like you're gonna fly out, like it's Final
Hmm.
Destination, and just fly
Yeah.
out and die on the ride.
Never been to Six Flags though. That's one that it's on
Mm,
the bucket list for sure.
yeah. Oh man, I've been to Six Flags 2 or 3 times. Been years, but my favorite amusement park is it's got to be one of the four parks from Disney World. Either
Hmm.
it's tough because I love them all, but as I get older, I appreciate Epcot a lot more. Like just
Yeah.
the walking around the countries, having drinks. They just opened the new
Hmm.
Guardians ride, which is just amazing. So
Yeah.
I think Epcot might be my favorite, actually, my favorite amusement park. So
I missed that Guardians ride by a week. It
oh,
opened
that's
a week
brutal.
afterwards, and I had no idea. I had no idea that was even going to happen. So I'm like, well, got to go back.
Yeah, you got to, right? That's how they get you. I
Yeah,
know they just
exactly.
announced too that they're just going to keep adding stuff. I heard a rumor. I don't know how much truth there is to it that they might like within the next decade to 15 years even try and open like another main park at Disney World. So they're always expanding down there.
They got the room
Um,
for it.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't know if that's just me or not. I don't know if you guys can see that too.
Sorry, I think I froze for a sec there.
Yeah, you froze for a minute. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right, cool. My Wi-Fi's been acting up, so that always happens when I have guests on.
That's too bad.
Let's see. Philly D, what's going on? Um, where are we at? Let's see. Jason Dominguez, what's up? Waterbot, how you doing? Um, oh yeah. thoughts on Toy Story 5, Zootopia 2, and Frozen 3?
I just saw like a tweet about this before I came on. Well, I was like a lot of people. They're making a fourth Toy Story movie. The third one ended so perfectly. Then you watch the fourth one, you're like, oh, it's still amazing. So you know what? And this is the thing too. It's like, okay, we're getting these, whether you like it or not. We're getting them. Let's just hope that they're good. Frozen, I don't really care about. I thought the second one was very convoluted.
Oh, yeah.
Zootopia, I enjoyed. Toy Story, I mean, let's just. I hope I cry. I just hope I cry again in the theater. I really do think they're gonna pull it off.
I am very, very concerned about Toy Story 5 because I'm in the camp of like Toy Story 3 should have been the end, and the Toy Story 4 story could have been like a series or like even a short.
Yeah,
Which is funny because I liked Toy Story 4 at first, but like it came out 2019, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times since, and each time I like it less. So I think they need to leave that
that's
be.
fair.
But it's also $1 billion just sitting there. So I kind of like,
Yeah,
they're gonna make $1 billion off that movie. Frozen 3, inevitable. Frozen 2, I agree. I don't care for that movie too much, and I've actually never seen Zootopia. So
it's cute. It's
it
cute.
is okay. Yeah,
It's not a world beater, but it's cute.
what I remember about it is the marketing, the trailer with like the sloth and the DMV. That was like the trailer, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to see the movie. Just because that was like a brutal trailer. It was like 20 seconds too, but I get it.
Yeah.
Oh man. What shows are you watching right now? You watching any TV shows right now?
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm just getting a phone call, but one show that me and my girlfriend are watching right now, Sailor Moon.
Okay.
The OG Sailor Moon.
Interesting.
Here, just one moment.
All good.
Yeah.
All good. In terms of shows that I am watching right now, I'm currently rewatching / watching Seinfeld, which is a show that I grew up like watching all the time on. I think it was either TNT or TBS, which is a cable network channel that if you guys had cable ever, it's one of the staple ones. So Seinfeld, I'm on like season 6. I've seen a boatload of episodes. It's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I'm also rewatching Outer Banks. P for L, baby. We get season 4. No, season 4 of You comes out tomorrow. That's what I was thinking of. Season 3 of Outer Banks comes out the 23rd of February, I want to say. So that's what I'm watching right now. I just finished up something. Or excuse me, season 1 of Servant. That's another show I'm kind of watching through. But let's do a little speed round while we get through some of these questions. By the way, I'm going to bookmark the favorite Tom Cruise movie for when Brandon's back, because that's the one I want to hear his answer for. Best Cobra Kai character, I'm rocking with Johnny. He's just that guy. What store did you buy your first physical media from? Target. Surprisingly. By the way, 45 people here. If you guys are going to hit that like button, it would mean a lot. And if you want to guarantee that we get to your questions or comments, Super Chat is the way to go. It'll pop up right away. We can get down to it. But yeah, I bought The Lion King 2, excuse me, from Target, at least in terms of Blu-ray. I don't remember DVD, but Blu-ray was from Target. All right, let's see. I am very excited for the new Hunger Games movie. Rachel Zegler is a queen, and it's kind of a President Snow prequel. Why the hell not? I haven't read the novel, but Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I want to say. Sign me up. I'm ready. I think there's a lot of storytelling in that world they can continue to do, in my opinion, at least. I enjoy the first 2 movies, and I'm not crazy about the Mockingjay movies. But Brandon, how do you feel about the Hunger Games movies?
Sorry.
Very good.
I saw the first one when it came out. I think I've seen it maybe once or twice again on Blu-ray. And then I saw the second one when it came out, and maybe once again on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the third one in theaters. Never saw the last one. I don't know. I just lost complete interest in it.
That's
so
fair,
am I excited for the new Hunger Games movie? The answer is completely no. But if they're doing another one, I mean, again, hey, let's just hope it's good.
Well, hey, maybe I know you love the new West Side Story. Rachel Zegler is one of the main stars of the upcoming Hunger Games, so that might stir up a little excitement.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see how she is in Shazam.
Oh yeah, she is in that. That movie does come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else though? But yeah, I'm excited for this one. There's a question I want to circle back to that I had to get your 2 cents on. Favorite Tom Cruise movie? Because I know that you love good old Tom Cruise movies, right?
Yeah, and you know it's funny. People would assume I'd say Fallout, but it's Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire.
I have
Actually, no, sorry. That's that. No. Sorry. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the most recent
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it's Top Gun Maverick. And like, I hate, I cringe as much as you guys when it's like, what's your favorite movie of all time? The most recent movie that the person's seen, right? Like, when Endgame came out, oh, that's my favorite movie of all time. And then when Black Widow came out the next year, that's my favorite movie of all time. Or with anything.
I did that when I was like 10. Like, I feel like everyone went through the phase like, oh, I just saw this movie in theaters. It was the best. It's the best movie ever.
Yeah. Hey, I said it was Spider-Man 3, 12 years old. Okay. But yeah, Maverick was unbelievable. It's an unbelievable movie.
That's my answer as well. Top Gun Maverick. I'll shout out it's not by no means my favorite. He doesn't even have a huge role, but I just wanted to shine a light on it. And I'm sure most of you have seen it or read the book, The Outsiders. That's like a childhood book, and he is like briefly in the movie.
Yeah.
But yes, favorite Tom Cruise flick. And I was gonna say I haven't seen Jerry Maguire. It's on my watch list. I know that's like a damn shame, but
yeah,
I gotta check it out.
Other than Top Gun Maverick, it's Jerry Maguire, and then I think it's actually American Made.
Okay.
Which is crazy because American Made is up there, and then there's Minority Report and Mission Impossible. But yeah, those ones are fantastic.
We're just going through his whole filmography. I just rewatched Collateral like this weekend. I showed it to like 3 of my friends for the first time. That's probably pretty high up there for me. Like, that's a great film.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Nicely Faithful. Thank you, man. What 2023 releases do you think will cross the $1 billion mark? And speaking of theme parks like Universal/Disney, what movies deserve an attraction? Okay, we'll answer the first part of this question first. I think the Little Mermaid remake is a guaranteed billion, just because it comes out at the end of May. It's like summertime is starting. If we look at the Lion King remake and the Aladdin remake, those are 2 of the biggest Disney animated movies, and they both did over $1 billion. I think Little Mermaid does $1 billion. That's the one if I had to put money on. That would be my answer.
Yeah, you did a short on this one, didn't you? Like, which movies you think would be? Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Like, and just the fact that when the casting came out or the trailer came out, it got so much publicity. And I am of the mindset where you can't have enough publicity, whether it's good or bad, controversy, whatever. At least you are being talked about. And like you said, Lion King and everything. Yeah, I think that's going to make $1 billion too. I don't think Indiana Jones gets there.
I don't either.
I would love it to, but I don't think it will.
An interesting one, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Nintendo has a huge following. The Sonic movies do huge. I don't know if it can reach $1 billion. One of the MCU movies will this year, though. I think Guardians 3,
yeah. I hope Fast X doesn't.
Oh God.
But I mean, hey, whatever. Like, people ask me like, aren't you mad this made money? And I go, well, yeah, it's in someone else's pocket, not mine. But like, whatever. Like, you can only thing that you can control is whether or not you like the movie or not. Maybe Mission Impossible could do it because like Fallout got close, and of course, with how successful Top Gun was, I think maybe Mission Impossible will finally do it. Nothing else really pops out. Like, I don't think Aquaman would do it.
I was going to mention it's got the Christmas release, and that could favor it because the first Aquaman did $1 billion in the same like time of year. Yeah, but I also think like is there like is Amber Heard fully removed from that movie now? Does anyone know? Because I feel like that might deter people from seeing the movie. I don't know though.
Did you like Aquaman?
I actually didn't watch it for the first time until a few years after it came out, and I was like, that was fun. But then it's like this, it's the thing where I just forget the movie. It's been what, 3 years almost since I watched it, and I just forgot about it. But I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Did you hate it or?
I thought it was crap. I was actually on my way to Disney World, and my flight got delayed 12 hours, like a full 12 hours. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Well, there's a mall close by, and then there's a movie theater. So I just took a taxi and I watched Aquaman. I'm like, wow, this sucked. But
yeah.
Speaking of theme parks like Universal Disney, what movies deserve an attraction?
That's a damn good question. And Indiana Jones, I've seen people talking about that has a ride at Disneyland.
Yeah.
But I would love to get like a even more immersive style ride. I don't know if they would do that. A movie that deserves an attraction. I mean, hell, they've got Hello Kitty.
He's purring. He's just like, he's still a kitten, so he cries when he wants attention.
Mm-hmm.
This is Roger, everybody.
Hello, Roger. I love the name choice.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that name, I think of The Great Escape.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking like an old man name, and then
Mhm.
Isabella, my girlfriend's like, "Well, there's Roger Ebert, the film critic,"
Yeah.
and then I said, "Well, there's Roger Moore, James Bond." So,
Ooh,
and there's
double whammy.
Roger Rabbit too, which of course
Mhm.
has the attraction at Disneyland. Um, yeah, I mean, Indiana Jones is a bit of a cop out because there's one in Disneyland, but that needs to be in Disney World. Because I'm
Yes,
sorry, but that stunt show is old. Like,
it is, but I adore it. I
ah,
have so much nostalgia, and I still like, oh, this thing is so cool every time I watch it.
mhm. The Waterworld one in California Universal is pretty fucking sick.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if you can swear on here, but
you can.
anyway. Okay, cool. But yeah, that one was really good. But there was there was a ride at Great America in like Santa Clara, California, so
Mhm.
around San Jose, San Francisco. It was called Top Gun's Flight Deck, but then they just changed it to Flight Deck. So they just got rid of the Top Gun theming.
Yeah,
I think you could totally make like a flight simulation Top Gun ride, and it would sell. I really do think that.
100% that would, especially with the recent success. But I think us talking about it just gave me a big light bulb moment for what I think we need. And I think it did exist in the 80s at Universal, but we need like a legit Back to the Future ride, not just a motion simulator, but like a ride where like it feels like they it feels like you're in DeLorean and like you're
Mhm.
traveling through time and it's like they make a nice story out of it. That would be incredible. Back to the Future. Let's get that.
Yeah, where you actually go through all the different time
Yeah.
periods.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
88 miles per hour, like kind of like Epcot with test track.
Yeah.
Just
They could do
just
like
put
a
you in a car
hybrid.
and yeah,
Yep.
go for it.
Oh man, that would be sick. But I see we got Maggie in here. What's up, Maggie? How you doing? Always good to see you in here.
Hey, Maggie.
Let's see. Who is your favorite MCU villain besides Thanos? I mean, it's cheating, sort of, but not really. But I think it's probably Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. Feels
Yeah,
kind of cop outy, but
yeah, I can see your point, but I can also see the whole cop out point. I guess you know what? He counts. I guess Bucky Barnes in Winter Soldier.
yeah, that's
He's
fair.
the villain, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess also like I like Killmonger a lot. Um,
I would say I'm totally blind. The Spider-Man villains are some of the best, by the way, in the MCU for me. Vulture is like Vulture. If I can't include like any of the
mhm.
other Spider-Man villains, Vulture is. I mean, Michael Keaton when he turns around in that car, he's like, "Hey, Peter," and he's just like got
Yeah.
that voice. I love it.
Hey, Pete. Hey. Yeah. My
Oh
cat
man,
is like looking at the screen. He's like looking at the cursor. I'm afraid
yeah,
he's gonna like jump and like wreck
yeah.
the
Just knock
equipment.
down
But
everything.
yeah.
Oh man,
And now you're stepping on the keyboard. Okay, buddy, come on. Come on.
he's just a little playful kitty.
Yeah. Mwah.
We got a super chat from Jason. Thank you, Jason. Would
Hey,
you visit the
Jason.
Tatooine locations from Star Wars and Tunisia at least once in your life? I'd love to do that. I don't know if I ever will. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like that's super expensive to go out there, but it would be cool. Like if I won some giveaway, I'd be like, oh yeah, let's do it. But I honestly, yeah, I don't know. That would be cool. I also would rather visit other filming locations probably before I visited that place. If that makes sense. But it
Yeah,
would be
I
cool.
would I would say the same thing. I think my next big like location where lots of movies have been filmed is New York City. Never been, would
Mm,
love to go. I think that's my next on my bucket list.
yeah. That's I went a long time ago. I was probably 10 or 11, but I want to go back now and like appreciate it 10 times more. Like the food, the drinks, the
Mm,
settings and all that, Like the
yeah,
coolest thing, like I went to Washington DC and I was the whole
that'd be
time I
cool
was
too.
there, it was like, "Oh, this is cool history," but I was also like they filmed National Treasure here and here and here. And I was just like,
Yeah,
this is where Nick Cage was in National Treasure.
yeah.
Oh man. Let's see, where was I in the chat? So thank you for the super chat, by the way. If you guys want to guarantee that we get to him, super chat is the way to go. It's also
Yeah.
a way to help support the channel. All right.
Shout out
And
to
again,
Jason, by the way. He's a great supporter.
hell yeah. Let's see. I a lot of questions in here about Zootopia 2, Toy Story 5. We already talked about that, so I'll skip over them. But if you want to hear our thoughts, you can go a little bit further back in the stream. The View with Drew's in here. What's going on?
Hey, Drew.
Gabriel asks thoughts on HBO's Last of Us. The show is great. Funnily enough, we were talking about it right before we went live, and
Mhm.
you haven't seen it, right, Brandon?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. My parents are watching it, and even my
Mhm.
dad, he doesn't play video games at all. And he's like, Brandon, you gotta watch this show. So, I mean, heck, if even if my dad enjoys it, then like my dad and I agree for the most part on movies. At least I like the movies that he likes, and he likes the shows that I like too. All right. You can.
I highly recommend it personally, and we're actually getting a new episode Friday. Usually it's coming out Sunday, but because of the Super Bowl, which is Sunday, they're like, let's not compete with that. So they're dropping it Friday, and I'm excited, man. I thoroughly am enjoying the show, and it seems like a lot of people are. The views go up every single week.
Who wins the Super Bowl? The Eagles or the Chiefs?
I like the Eagles to win.
Okay.
Yeah,
they both won recently, or not?
Yeah,
recently, last 10 years, right?
Yes, very recently.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, with that, the Super Bowl was in 2020, right before that was the last Super Bowl before the pandemic. And then the Eagles won. I guess that was the 17 season. The game was in 18 because it was a few months before I graduated high school. But yes, so I wanted the Bengals to win with Joe Burrow. I don't know if you're familiar, but that would have been cool.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I don't normally watch football, but I always am in the conversation of it, especially around Super Bowl time. I'm just a sports guy. So even in basketball, I don't normally watch it, but I went to my first NBA game in Portland. I drove down just for the one game, 5 hours down. It was a great experience. And it's I understand, who Damian Lillard is and whatever, but I'm just a sports guy. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for the commercials and the movie trailers, of course. It's all going to be fun.
Yeah. Is Falcons is that your team? It's
funny you mentioned that. At one point in my life I was, and this was 2012, and then they broke my heart in a game, and I was just I'm so young. I'm just not going to hold on to this anymore. I abandoned them and they stink. But now I just watch the NFL for players. And I know people are like, what? But my favorite college players, when they go into the NFL, I'll just follow them. Or I just want to see interesting close games really for the NFL.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like when people follow the players, that happens more in the NBA. At least that's just my own personal experience. I know people from Cleveland who were big LeBron fans when he was there. And now they just hate Cleveland Cavaliers and they will only follow LeBron. So okay, now I'm a Heat fan. Now I'm a Lakers fan. Whereas I think in hockey, that doesn't happen. If you're Vancouver's captain just got traded last week to New York. He's a bum. He never was good. He sucked. So I think with hockey, at least in Canada, it's very it's your team, and if your favorite player goes, he's not your favorite player anymore. Screw him. He's dead. He's dead to you.
Oh man, yeah. Screw him. Herb Brooks in Miracle.
Yes.
Oh man. Cobra Kai says favorite 2010s Disney animation movie.
Oh boy,
I think this one is pretty easy for me. If we're exclusively talking Disney, not Pixar, Tangled came out in 2010, I think. So
yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I'm just gonna look just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I guess you have Tangled. Then
I think Wreck-It Ralph was in there, right?
Wreck-It Ralph. You had the 2 Wreck-It Ralph movies. You had the 2 Frozen movies. You had Big Hero 6, which again, one of those movies where it's you really enjoy it. I haven't thought about that movie since it came out.
No, I watched it in 2020 for the first time on that 100 movies challenge I did, and I was like, "Damn, this movie was great!" And I literally haven't watched it since I thought about it. Really,
that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. And I guess what else am I missing here? I mean, Encanto was not the 2010s. I'll go Tangled too.
Yeah, gotta be, and that's a top 5 all-time Disney animation movie for me, probably. I really enjoy that one.
Yeah, I enjoy it more than Frozen, which is sacrilege to say, but yeah.
I dig it more than Frozen too. Let's see. Looking through the chat here. We Jacob, we did see the Toy Story thing. We talked about that earlier. I know that we are actually kind of behind in the chat, but yes.
You know what? That brings up a good point, though. Hey, Cam. Milking a franchise. They call it show business for a reason. Hollywood makes movies to make money, not to make art. They want to make money. And ever since Jaws and Star Wars, when they realized that you can make a big profit, it's just the way it goes. I'm sure that you get this comment all the time. Why are they making a sequel to this? They should just leave it alone. They're ruining the story. They don't fucking care.
Yeah.
They want money.
the biggest one that comes to mind for me is Joker. Like I was in the camp of like I don't want the sequel, but the first movie did $1 billion. The second one's probably gonna make close to, if not $1 billion, because of how I mean Joker. It's just, everyone wants to go see Joker, Joker. It's like a huge IP, and like just the poster alone is gonna sell tickets. So you're right. They don't care about the story or even continuity. Hell, the X-Men franchise confuses me deeply, but they make money.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing. Yeah, they don't care.
not at all. Oh man, let's see. What's your favorite adult animated show? I actually don't watch many of them. Like I don't. I've seen episodes of like all the major ones. Do you watch any like Family Guy type shows or South Park?
I mean, like I've watched a lot of Family Guy, but there's no show right now where I actually like will watch like every single episode, or like I'm not a big Rick and Morty fan. I've never really seen American Dad. I've seen a couple episodes of South Park, like you said. I've seen the most of Family Guy, so I guess I'll say that.
Yeah, I would have to say, I guess by default, Family Guy. I've seen probably the most of those. So yeah, we got Rylan in the house. What's going on, man? What his question is, what is your most rewatched movie, and what is your favorite quote from Pirates of the Caribbean? I think that's funny because I feel like that might have the answer to yours, right, Brandon? I'm just taking a guess here.
I think that's the reason why he asked it.
Yeah.
It probably is Pirates of the Caribbean. Maybe Star Wars. Harry Potter's up there too. My favorite quote from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's funny. Whenever me and my buddy, his name's Brandon also, whenever we go out drinking, we always go, take what you can, give nothing back. And we just
yeah, love that.
We quote that one. I quote that one the most.
One that I literally just randomly will say. I said this in the car with my friends the other day. It is a drawing of a key. The way that he says that, it's just so funny. That's any Jack line, I mean, he's got plenty of them.
I love weddings, drinks all around. Yeah,
I've actually been meaning to rewatch them because I'm playing on Twitch right now the Lego Pirates game, like a nostalgia trip, and like I love the trilogy. I don't care for 4 or 5. So
yeah, I'm in the minority where I don't hate the 4th one. It's not good, but I don't hate the 4th one. I like loathe the 5th one.
The 5th one's the worst one. Like it was disgustingly bad in the theater. Like that scene on the beach when like there's like a wedding or something, and then the whole final act was like, it was terrible. It was awful.
Yeah, and that's why I use that as an example when I don't necessarily like pledge allegiance to fandoms, because it's like, well, how can you hate this movie when the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is your favorite movie of all time? Because they're different movies. I mean, in the same franchise has my favorite movie ever and one of, if not my least favorite movie ever, in the same franchise. So, I just try to look at things in a vacuum, just each individual movie, which one's good, which one isn't. And, like you made your short about like what franchise doesn't have any bad movies, right? Yeah. I think every single one, Spider-Man, you had the first 2 great ones, then you had 3, and then you had the Andrew Garfield ones. Harry Potter, now you got Fantastic Beasts. Lord of the Rings, you have The Hobbit, which, say what you will about The Hobbit, but it feels like, I've said this before, when you're eating the appetizer after the meal, where it's like, I'm kind of full. But anyway, that's my point on that.
In terms of my most rewatched movie, it's got to be like the prequels and the original trilogy. I mean, if we're talking my whole life from like childhood, that probably has to be the answer, because I would just set up my toys and just play them all through. I don't rewatch them as much as I used to, just because I'm watching a lot more new stuff, and especially TV shows now. But that's up there.
Yeah. Would you say Revenge of the Sith you've seen more than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones?
I actually,
Maybe Phantom Menace.
I think I probably have seen Phantom Menace the most out of all this.
Yeah, me too.
Because Revenge of the Sith, for me, I told a story about this on a recent video I did. Like, it actually spooked me. I was 6 when it came out, and like
I saw that one.
When Palpatine, like, I literally I started crying. We had to like pause the movie. We rented it on DVD. I didn't go to theaters for it because I was 6 and it was PG-13.
Yeah.
But that movie's intense, and so I rewatched the Phantom Menace a lot because I'm a little kid. I love pod racing and Darth Maul, So yeah. I also watched Clones a lot too. Like the whole prequel trilogy, I love it. So flaws and everything.
Yeah, that's my childhood right there.
Mhm.
With the prequels for
Yeah.
sure.
Indiana Jones ride would be fun. I know we talked about that earlier. Let's
Hmm.
see. Yes, The Outsiders. That's like middle school right there. The nostalgia.
Hmm. Haven't seen
Uh,
it since high school, but
yeah, I haven't watched the
yeah.
movie in 10 years, probably. Actually, yeah. I think 2013. I legit is when I watched it and read the book. So, let's see. Looking around the chat here, a lot of questions about Last of Us. I'm enjoying the show. For those wondering, I don't want to reveal too much, just because I know Brandon hasn't seen. Uh, will Janet die in Quantumania? So this is the mother of Hope, right? I don't think anyone's gonna die. If anyone dies, I think it'll be Hank Pym. Do you have any predictions?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like how many more times can you bring Michael Douglas back to the MCU? Like that was when I heard that, I was like, what? Michael Douglas is doing this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I thought of that as just like a paycheck. But hey, he's been in every one of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that makes the most sense. And Michelle Pfeiffer too. If you kill off both of them. But again, who knows? I don't really have any predictions.
No, yeah. It's hard to predict, and I don't know. They probably won't kill anybody, and if they can just bring them back now with the
Yeah,
multiverse. So,
100%.
what is your favorite Harry Potter movie?
Chamber of
Brandon?
Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets. Okay,
Yeah.
that one's. I just did my rewatch. I do it like try to do it every year. That one's a little lower for me, but I don't. Again, saying that people are like, you don't like Chamber of Secrets, but like I
Mhm.
love all 8 Harry Potter movies.
Yeah,
It's
me too.
just it's not like higher up on my personal preference. My favorite is Prisoner of Azkaban, which is a lot of people's answer, but I freaking love
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah, I completely agree with the Prisoner of Azkaban love. And I completely will admit that it's like when I think of Harry Potter, I think of them at that age in their second year.
Mhm.
That's just maybe that's just the one that I watched the most growing up. That's the one I was scared of. Chamber of Secrets. I was scared
Okay.
of the the blood on
The
the
basilisk
wall,
thing. Oh
the
yeah,
basilisk,
yeah.
and seeing like Jenny's face when she was in the trance, and it would kind of have
Oh
like the
yeah, yeah.
like that is some scary stuff.
And
And
the
the
score is
score,
like the score, dude.
yeah,
It's like terrifying.
yeah, that one scared me as a kid too. But it was like, but the ending, I still think, even with Deathly Hallows Part 2, I still think Chamber of Secrets is the best ending when Hagrid comes back from Azkaban, everyone's clapping. And now that he's gone, now the actor,
Mm-hmm.
like it just, I think it works.
Hagrid's my favorite character. So yeah,
Mhm.
that is a very very emotional moment, and it really like gets the tears flowing in the eyes pretty much every time. It's the score. It's just like the feel good moment to end the movie. So
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, let's see. Jedi Connor, what's going on? A lot of people curious about my thoughts on episode 4 of The Last of Us. I'll say this: 2 thumbs up from me.
Me too.
Let's see. Will someone die in Outer Banks 3? I'll be brief. Yes, I think someone will die, but I'll save that for another day. It could be JJ. My Cam and I have been talking about that. I don't think you've seen Outer Banks, so this is probably going right over your head. Yep.
Yeah.
Favorite streaming services?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Only because I know what I'm getting with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very with Netflix, things can come and go, but with Disney, you know what's on there and you know what's staying.
I'm gonna say, I think I lean Netflix still. The main reason being, they have some of my favorite shows of all time on there.
That's fair.
But also, like, I think they have a great catalog of like older movies and shows, like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are on there, and they
Mhm.
had. I don't think they have The Office anymore, but they did. But the movies, like most movies that I want to watch, like I'll go and they're either on HBO Max or Netflix. So if I don't own them physically, so yeah, those are high up there. Let's see, the kitty. Come on, Roger. I just feel like saying that name in a British accent or something,
Simba.
some sort of accent. Yeah.
All right, come on.
How old is Roger again?
11 weeks.
11 weeks.
Like, so he's tiny.
Yeah. Does he make a ruckus in the night or?
He did. But he's getting better.
Yeah.
I just try to play with him before bed, and I've had to put him in his room a couple times just because it's like it's fucking 3 a.m. Just I need to sleep. But he's good though. He's getting better.
Yeah. Where is the hype at for the Mario movie? I think it exists. I'm not like over the moon hype by any means, but I think it exists, and I know they've been dropping a bunch of posters, so uh, they're gonna drop a trailer at some point. But like, my thing is this: Mario Kart in particular, I love, but
Me too.
I just like even with the Sonic movies, like I was like they're fine, they're cute, but I never like
Mhm.
was like oh yeah Sonic like like Super Mario movie. I don't even know how to describe it. Do you have any thoughts?
Um, yeah, like I saw the trailer and it's like, you know what, that looks a lot better than I thought it was going to look, and it looks pretty fun. The animation is gorgeous. We'll see. You know, like I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like that's
like
the thing. It's like, where's the hype for it? Why aren't you excited? Um, hey, you know what? If it's a great movie, I'll say it's a great movie. I was
mhm.
just laughing because Frozen Thing Studios said something that is like, this person completely doesn't know me at all.
Oh
It's
wait, this right here, the about
Stop
sleeping.
sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Don't
okay.
you love Cobra Kai? I think you do, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite show.
Yeah. I'm
Stop
more into Cobra
sleeping
Kai.
on it. You should say stop sleeping with it. But no, okay. I've only seen like Stranger Things like a couple episodes,
Mhm.
so I'll give you that. But Cobra Kai is like my favorite show. Like that is the one show that as soon as it's released, I'm binging that thing like
Yeah.
immediately, and I just love it. I mean, I don't make any videos about it, and I think the reason why is just because I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know, it's
totally fair.
just like I remember when WandaVision came out and everyone and their mom was making videos on WandaVision. And
Yeah.
it kind of ruined the experience just for me. Like, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody who makes videos about WandaVision, like not at all. But every time that I was watching it, I was thinking about I was like doing homework and I had to like write down things for I got to put that in the video, got to put that in the video. But everyone else is going to be talking about that same thing too. Whereas with Cobra Kai, it's like I think you even mentioned it was like your comfort show. Was that you who said that?
Stranger Things but like Cobra Kai is a show too that like I could it's just like escapism fun. Like I watched
Yeah,
the whole thing over like the course of a few months for the I did reactions, of course.
right.
But I rewatched it all in like 2 or 3 days with Cam for the first time, and I honestly like I had so much fun journaling it. Like you and I have actually talked about this. Just to open a quick side rant, you and I
Yeah,
have talked about like the reaction game, if you want to call it, like
yeah.
reacting to shows and movies and how it can alter
Hmm.
your enjoyment. Cobra Kai is the one thing that it didn't alter at all. Immediately, like I was
Yeah,
like, this rules. And then the coolest part about it was meeting the fandom and like people
yeah,
genuinely getting excited. Like the Cobra Kai reaction series, it was so much fun, and it honestly like made me excited to watch the next episode. Boom, I'm gonna get to talk to everybody about this. So
yeah.
that was a blast. That was the also sorry to keep
No, no,
cutting
no.
off.
Go for it.
Like that felt to me like I wasn't like, oh, it's time to watch Cobra Kai. And if at any point I start to feel like that anymore, I've told myself like I'm done. Like I was doing an Arcane reaction series, and I don't hate Arcane, but I was like, I don't want to make videos about this anymore. So I stopped. And same with The Last of Us. I'm like, I just want to enjoy the show. I don't want to make
Yeah.
reaction videos about it. I never felt that way with Cobra Kai. Never did.
That, you know what? That's the thing. That tells you how much you're enjoying it.
Yep.
Because like when I was doing reaction videos, a lot of the time I felt like I had to say something. Because normally when I'm watching a movie, I'm silent and I'm just really invested in it. But when I'm reacting to a movie that I'm really invested to, I kind of have to like take myself out and like, oh yeah, I'm filming a video. Oh, that scene was funny. Ha ha ha. And I'm going, this like I watched Heat again for the first time in ages. That's a
Mhm.
great movie.
Mhm.
And I was thinking like I would have done a reaction video to this and I would have just talked through the entire thing because I felt like I would have to. But like something like Cobra Kai, that show is so fun and
Yes.
so what's the word? I don't want to say unique, but
There's like
fresh.
even
It
yeah,
has an
yeah.
energy. It has energy.
Yeah, I agree. And there's even like a communal feel watching it, like knowing that people like are just as excited as me to talk about it. That's what really added to me. And like that's
Yeah,
why I'm being more particular with what I react to because like oh,
that's a
I
good
want
point.
like if I don't like imagine there was a point in my life where I was like, I think I'm gonna watch Elvis and do like a commentary track for it on my Patreon. And I was like, that just would not have been enjoyable. Elvis is like almost a 3 hour, like I think a drama. I still haven't seen it, but like if I if I have to be like passionate enough to do a reaction video about it, because then it's like I'm talking, like I forget the camera's even on. I'm like literally talking to like the people who are watching the video. That's what it felt like watching Cobra Kai, and that's why I enjoyed it 10 times more than a darker drama show like The Last of Us, which I thoroughly enjoy. But I was like, this is almost like absurd for me to try and film like a reaction
Yeah.
to it, just because it's like I expect if I had done episode 3, which is I think it's the best episode, but like no spoilers, it's very emotional. Like I would have just been sitting there like teary eyed for an hour and 20 minutes. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good point when you say there's a communal,
mhm.
like everyone's excited to talk about it. Whereas, when you're reacting to movies, generally speaking, I think the channels that do well in that regard are, well, one, don't shoot me, but attractive women, because let's face it here, the movie space is mostly men, mostly nerdy men, right? So when you see like an attractive woman, I'm gonna watch Star Wars for the first time. Whereas people like you and me, we've seen Star Wars, we've seen Batman, we've seen Lord of the Rings, we've seen these things. Being the age that we are, we probably haven't seen a lot of the older movies. So basically what you're doing is you're watching an older movie, and sorry guys, we didn't see it when it came out in the theater. You know what I mean? You're watching it, and then the people who generally watch those reactions are people who grew up with the movie. You millennials don't know anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just the people who are watching it are like gatekeeping their baby, just making sure, okay, can this person be a fan of it? Okay, this person liked it, and they liked it in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, you laughed at the sad moment. You're just an idiot who doesn't know anything about cinema. Cobra Kai, it's a very celebratory, communal thing. Oh, let's watch this new episode together.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, getting into the older movies, yeah, at
I
least
have
for
to
me,
like
anyways. Yeah.
I have to like give props to you for reacting. I know you've reacted to a bunch of older films, and it's like I think even a childhood favorite of mine that I would watch is The Great Escape. And
Yeah.
I think you did a reaction to that, and I can only
Yeah.
imagine like how like that would have been like I feel like that would have be difficult because it's like a pretty intense movie at times. It's almost
Mhm.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever feel that way with like that type of movie? Because I know you reacted to
Yeah.
some older ones along those lines.
Yeah, and I think The Great Escape was good because it was very tense.
Yeah.
So you're like, "Oh God," you know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. That's
So,
true.
like, that works. And also, I'm sure that you get into this too. You don't know what you're reacting to because it's a reaction, and if it's genuine, you don't know what's coming. So if
Exactly.
you watch a movie that just sucks,
Exactly.
and I've done that before. I watched a movie, and I have nothing to say. I have nothing to react to.
Hmm.
Whereas, The Great Escape, it's a very tense movie,
Hmm.
and it's very long movies. There's a lot of, opportunity for me to like, be expressive and be really into the movie. And what I said was like, I've seen Chicken Run a lot, which is
Hmm.
basically the same premise. And Chicken Run was based off of Great Escape, the kind of escape from the chicken farm, escape from the Nazi prison camp. How dare you compare this masterpiece to that trash?
That's
You're
great.
like, how dare you be born when you were like, oh, I will complain to my parents. I'm so sorry. So yeah, and the editing, like when you're editing that for like a 3-hour movie,
Hmm.
it's not fun. And I think it's a lot more fun for me if I watch an older movie, or I just watch any movie and I really enjoy it, just to talk about it,
Hmm.
as opposed to like trying to do things. But I mean, heck, in the pandemic, I reacted to Clone Wars, and that was pretty fun for a while. But I noticed that I was getting a big audience that only wanted to watch that. They didn't watch any of my other content. Like, why are you posting reviews?
Mhm.
Like, make what I want to watch, idiot. Okay. Thanks. So yeah, but I mean, but like you said, Cobra Kai I think definitely fits within the niche because it's kind of similar to Stranger Things in
Mhm.
fact that like the episodes are about a bunch of kids and they're
Yeah.
about a
Yeah.
bunch of 80s, right? And it's a communal thing, so I think that definitely works. And yeah, I've seen a couple of them. They're fun.
Mhm. Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that. And yeah, I mean, I moving forward again, I know a lot of you have asked the question. I'll just address it. Like, I will do reactions to things that I like really am excited about, and like know that it would be like fun because you
Mhm.
mentioned it. Like, I was editing, and I I feel bad talking about Arcane in this light. I think Arcane's a well-made show, but I was like, it was becoming the point where I was like, oh, it's time to sit down and watch an Arcane episode and then grind
Mhm.
out. And reactions, I don't know, for those who have never edited, like for me personally, the way like I do a bunch of cuts and all this stuff, it takes forever to edit a reaction video. It really does. I know you know that.
Yeah.
Especially doing a 3-hour movie, I could never. And
Yeah.
so like I was starting to dread like the process, and it was like
Mhm.
that is not healthy to continue making content that I'm passionate about. So recently I've tried to get back to things that I really have more two cents to say about, more passion, I guess is the right word. Like I built up my channel originally long form videos on like top 10s, tier lists, things that I
Mhm.
enjoy. And
Mhm.
I did feel like I was cornering myself in for a second there, like just doing Arcane. And it's like, my audience doesn't care about Arcane, like the audience I built up. And so
Mhm.
I felt like, what am I doing here? So I don't know if you've ever had that happen,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
like
like even
mentality wise.
well, yeah, like doing like reaction videos and stopping that. I said, it was getting to the point where I was doing it to try to chase views, and I wasn't even excited to watch the movie. And then by doing that, I would have a large chunk of my subscribers only watch reaction videos, not watch any of my other content. Why are you posting reviews? I only want to see reaction videos. And then people who watch my reviews, why are you doing reaction videos? I only want to see reviews. So it's like if I'm just splitting up my audience in the middle, I got to choose one. This one might not get enough like the views extremely fast, but at least I'm have a clean conscience and a great state of mind. Like I'm actually talking about things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And you know, like um, like I know that you just did the Scream 6 Super Bowl reaction.
Yeah.
I know some people who will react to every single trailer, like every single one, and they go,
Oh, you mean
"You're
like every trailer for like everything? So like
literally,
there's a
yeah."
Will Ferrell movie where he's like voicing a dog. I saw like a clip of it. Like
Oh,
that
really?
came out today. It's like a R-rated comedy, and
Oh,
like people would react to even those.
yeah. Like I'm talking like every single
Oh
movie
yeah,
that could come out. The rom-coms, the Hallmark Christmas movie, the like
that's
weird
funny.
boutique Blu-ray, straight to Blu-ray horror movie. Any trailer they'd react, and it's like the same.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just me, but I'm like, I see right through that. There's
Hmm.
no way that this person is actually genuine. And I think that's what I'm really getting to. Like, I don't know if you know this channel. His name's Happy Console Gamer. Shout out. But
I haven't heard of him. No.
so he's a local YouTuber. And I was actually watching his videos since I was like 13 years old.
Hmm.
And I go to the Batman screening and he's there. And I'm going, okay, just go up and talk to him. So I go up and I'm like, hey, are you John from Happy Console Gamer? He goes, yeah. And I go, hey, I'm a YouTuber too. My name's Brandon. And I go, like, I'm sure he gets, people talking to him all the time. And
Yeah.
we were talking, and then like we're friends now. Like I was actually over at his house last night. We watched True Romance together for the first time. We're just hanging out. But he was telling me, and the reason why I bring it up is because he was telling me, like, I have never chased numbers. And I find that whenever people do, they are chasing numbers and they're no longer doing things in their niche. And people can tell when their content starts to be a bit more like chasing the number and not doing what actually you care about.
Mhm.
If you can find a balance, that's great. But if you just talk about the things that you want to talk about and are extremely passionate about it, it will, leak through the camera. And he was talking about how he always likes to play like these Japanese RPGs, which are not the most popular games. Like, he could be talking about Call of Duty, Fortnite, like the big games. He's like, but I don't do that. I just talk about the games that I like, and I talk about the consoles that I want to talk about. And it took a while, but I got there. And I think it's like, yeah, I think just especially over the last couple of years, I would chase those reaction videos. Everyone's got to do a reaction to The Godfather. Everyone's got to do a reaction to this. Everyone's got to do a reaction to this. And even I might be like, well, I don't necessarily want to react to it. I kind of just want to watch it on my own. But I feel like I have to do it. Like you were talking about, oh, I guess I got to do this reaction video to this movie
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
I guess I
Because
have
I
to do it.
started it, like I
Yeah.
started a show and I was like, I gotta finish the show. Completionist mindset. And
Yeah.
I was like, I really don't have to finish the show. Like I
Yeah.
can just finish it on my own time.
And I mean, heck, like, would you say, I think it's fair to say that when you started doing the shorts and you really focused on Stranger Things, like your passion seep through, and that's when everyone's like, okay, film's talked. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah,
like,
I adore the show, as you can tell. And
yeah.
I was genuinely excited every day to talk about Stranger Things. And yeah, I think so. I think, yes, passion, like I believe the quotes from La La Land, people love what other people are passionate about. Like you can tell always. And
That's
if
a good
I ever
quote.
start to feel like I did actually, like drained by something creatively, I will moving forward, at least this year, I'm going to try and like cut that off and flip the script, to quote Cobra
Yeah,
Kai.
absolutely. And just to add on to that, like, you know, because I do reviews with Movie Scene Canada,
Mhm.
you know, and it's just like just some guys who have who are like the studio reps. They're like, well, I guess we need a reviewer for our website, right? And we just kind of help each other out. Even if I see a movie that it's like I have nothing to say about this, just say that. Say this movie brings me no passion.
Mhm.
You know, it's not like, hey guys, we're going to be seeing the new movie. It's like, even if you have no love for it, don't try to make it bigger than it is, and just go like, hey guys, so there's not much coming out. I saw this, and there's a reason why nothing's coming out
Mhm.
like this, and just be honest about it.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I started talking about like things like that, people will stick around, even for movies, like reviews about movies that aren't necessarily that well known or that people talk about too much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun little talk. I felt like we were on a podcast for a second there. I liked that. That was chill.
Me too. I agree.
Jason says Damien Chazelle or David Fincher.
Fincher.
Fincher. Okay. That's
Chazelle's good, but I think Fincher, because he's got Seven and
he has
Gone
the
Girl
Social Network too.
and Social Network. Yeah.
David Fincher, Social Network is up there for me, but I will say Whiplash and La La Land alone carry a lot of weight. But I love The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. That's also Fincher, so he's got some great movies.
That's a good one too.
Fincher, very close though. I've also Fincher, but it's close. Opinions on the Equalizer movies. I've never seen the Equalizer movies, and I didn't even know there was a third one coming out this year. But I think that might be true. Have you seen them?
First one's really good. Haven't seen the second one.
Mm.
That's my opinion about it.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, like I always said that the first Equalizer movie, if handled by a no-name director and had no like charismatic action star in it, it would just fall to the wayside. But it has Denzel and Antoine Fuqua. They work together on Training Day.
Mhm.
They really elevate what could be just like a blah story. It's very simple, but it's told very effectively. And I mean, like, I'm sure that you know this, but whenever I watch like an action movie with my dad and like someone's head gets chopped off or something, like if it gets really bloody, he goes, he kind of like laughs at it. So I go like the dad moments, like one of those movies.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies.
Okay, yeah. I think it's funny because I think my dad likes the Equalizer movies now.
Yeah,
we talk about that. Let's see. Yeah, everyone go sub to Brandon. I know a lot of people have said they're going to sub. So go subscribe. Everything and follow him on social medias. All those are linked down below.
I think it's because we've never seen Brandon before. I saw someone said the chat died. It's because we've never seen this guy before. You can ask me anything you want.
That's funny. Let's see. I've never seen Supernatural, for those wondering. Is Indiana Jones on Paramount Plus? It's because the movies were originally like Paramount was the studio attached, but I don't know. Do you think one day they'll make their way over to Disney Plus or not? Like, it's tough.
It's always tough because like Lucasfilm, it's a Lucasfilm movie, and you know they're owned by Disney, and Disney does not like to share. But then again, you have Sony with Spider-Man, and it's always a big legal thing. Like heck, even they just re-released GoldenEye 007, the N64 game from 1997 on Nintendo and on Xbox. And the reason why it took so long is because Rare was once owned by Nintendo. Now it's owned by Microsoft. And of course you have MGM, and MGM is now owned by Universal. Like, it's just crazy. Even for a little N64 game, licensing and the rights, like people sometimes forget how muddy those waters are.
Yeah, like getting a movie on a streaming service especially is like it's just a battle because I know that even the MCU Spider-Man movies, like I don't know if they're on Disney Plus or not. Like that's been an ongoing negotiation there, and movies are constantly going back and forth between streaming services. So maybe one day,
Mhm.
the indie movies will make their way over, but I don't know. I don't know what behind the scenes of that would entail.
Yeah, let's hope it. Let's hope they
I
go
would,
on there.
yeah, I hope so, especially before the new one, which I know we're both excited for.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That is like,
Please be good.
speaking of movies, earlier you mentioned like we were talking about Endgame, No Way Home for MCU, like movies in general. I am like this is up there for all time excitement level for me.
Nice.
Yeah, for me.
Man. What would you say is the one movie that you were like counting down the days for?
It's like it's Avengers Endgame. I'm not making this up. I locked myself away from society the whole week. Like I think it was Tuesday or Monday. I was in college and I skipped classes for a few days. I deleted social media apps off my phone and I locked myself in this room with all like the lights off and just rewatched a bunch of MCU movies. Went to the theater with headphones in because I heard that there were leaks out there, and then I watched the movie.
Wow.
That was, yeah. But you know what? Actually, that and then The Force Awakens. Those are the
For,
two. Those are
Force
the two.
Awakens for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the one where it's like every single like leak, like Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in the movie. I remember that was a big like story
Mhm.
that I was like, it's happening. And I remember there's a rumor that like Ryan Gosling and Zac Efron were going to be in the movie, like before the cast was even announced.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's happening, guys. It's real. And I was totally on that hype train. But my first one was Spider-Man 2. That was my first movie where I ever like got involved in like movie hype, where
Yeah.
I watched the trailer, and that trailer still is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. To this,
Honestly, I don't think I've seen the Spidey trailers because I was a young
yeah,
lad when that movie hit theaters. So I didn't see any of the Toby Spider-Man in theaters, but I saw everything Andrew onward I got to see in theaters. But
you were born in '99.
yes,
Okay, yeah. So I'm a '95 kid. So
okay,
I was 9 years old when
makes
Spider-Man
sense.
2
Yep.
came out. But yeah, I mean,
I guess that's
Endgame.
funny because I think I was 10 then, or 10 or 12 when TASM came out. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
was just getting into my graduation year, or my senior year, as Americans would say. We don't use senior, freshman,
Oh, really?
junior. Yeah, we don't use it.
You
I
guys
mean,
say like grade and then the like grade 9 or grade 8, right?
yeah. Instead of like the 12th grade, I'll just say
Yes,
grade
yes.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same damn thing. It's like I think other countries like the way they write the dates, it's like in a different order, but it means the same thing.
Yeah, my supervisor, or one of my sales reps at work, he's from England, and he always gets mad at me for writing like the date. I'll go month, day, year, but
Mhm.
he does it day, month, year.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what month is 24? But it's like, oh, right.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I it confused me because I took Spanish in high school and I believe we had to like write dates differently and it was strange.
right.
We got a question for you though. Cobra Kai question. The floodgates have been open for you.
Oh, what favorite Cobra Kai
Season
season?
episode character.
Oh, gee, I don't know. I mean, I liked the last season a lot. I'll say this though, I haven't actually like rewatched any of it. Like, so I've like binged it when it came out, and I haven't gone back and like rewatched seasons. I'm not too sure why. I think just because I want to finish the whole thing,
Hmm.
or maybe I just like watched it all and then
Yeah.
didn't want to like over consume. Um, I think there's only two times where I thought the episodes kind of got a bit cheesy was when like the Cobra Kai people, when Hawk was still in Cobra Kai, like they broke into the LaRusso house and like just destroyed everything. I'm like, this
Hmm.
is insane. And then the school fight at the end, where I guess
I
Miguel,
ate that shit up. I love how cheesy it gets.
yeah, that was like, okay, this is getting intense. But I
Hmm.
I loved the final episode when it was Barnes who was like driving the limo.
Hmm.
I don't know. I ate that up, the final episode, a lot.
I
And
loved
yeah.
I loved season 5. I've seen a lot of people, and I didn't know at the time. I didn't watch the show, but like looking back, I saw a lot of reactions too that were like season 5, like the show needs to end. And I'm like, I loved season 5.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know how you can. I guess the only storyline they can still go with is Kreese, right? I guess like
yes,
that's there's no final like
and
send
like
off on his character yet.
yeah, and I I do wish I do think they could have tied it up with like 30 more minutes, like all of it. Like Kreese could have, they could have killed off Kreese, but I do think they did open the door for like the Sakai Taikai, like the whole world tournament. So I think that'll be that, and Kreese will have to be like involved somehow, and maybe Silver gets out of his situation. So who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean, I think Silver is beyond redemption. Like, I really hope that. I mean, you could have the ending where everyone's friends, but I think you gotta have one bad guy put away.
Yeah.
Maybe dead. I don't know about death, but yeah. Favorite
It's like
character? I mean, it's a cop out, but I still like Daniel LaRusso.
okay.
I like Miguel a lot. I
Hmm.
think Miguel out of the kids is my favorite. I like Sam too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Standard
Johnny
answers.
a lot, and
Hmm.
Miguel, Robbie, and Sam are all my favorites probably.
Yeah.
But that made me think of a funny quote from National Treasure. It's not, but like you said, someone's got to be the bad guy, gets put away. It's like when Harvey Keitel is talking to Cage, he's like, somebody has to go to prison, Ben. It's like at the end. So,
No,
oh
it's not
man,
gonna be me.
that's great. Let's see. Would you rather live in the world of Star Wars or Hawkins? Star Wars, because I could possibly use the Force, and I feel like I could just, or be a bounty hunter like Mando, just settle down somewhere. There's a lot more to explore. Hawkins is just, it's like our world, but with an evil entity essentially. So I'm good if I
Yeah,
had to pick between those two.
I'll go Star Wars just because of um the variety. The
Yeah,
variety of worlds, the variety of jobs that you could have, the variety of people you could meet. I'll go Star Wars.
yeah. We got Jennifer in the house. What's going on, Jennifer? How you
Hey,
doing?
Jen.
What is your favorite M Night Shyamalan movie? She asks.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Okay. I'm saying The Sixth Sense. That being said, I have not explored as much as I should have. I've seen
Me too.
a lot. I haven't seen Unbreakable. That's one I got to watch. I haven't seen Signs. I'm embarrassed, but I haven't seen Signs.
Neither have I, so don't you worry.
um, Carson's Chickens. What's going on? What's your favorite DreamWorks movie? Mr. Movie Nerd asks. Yeah, I just had to read that username.
Carson's Chickens.
Yeah.
Just interesting.
That's
Hey,
funny.
it's good. Favorite DreamWorks movie. I'm assuming he means animated, because I
Yes.
guess if you want to be an asshole, you could be like, "Well, Saving Private Ryan's DreamWorks."
Tropic Thunder, technically DreamWorks. I watched it
Yeah,
on rewatched it the other day.
I guess I gotta go Chicken Run.
Okay.
Chicken Run's my favorite.
I'm gonna say that I actually didn't watch a lot of DreamWorks growing up, but I'll mention two: Shrek 2, and then The Road to El Dorado, a movie that I watched a lot as a kid. So
Yeah, that one's a good one too.
yeah.
That's the. I think I've seen that trailer for El Dorado. It was on like every VHS tape I had growing up, and it took me until I was like 15, 16 years old to actually no, I was 22 when I saw it for the first time.
Okay.
Took me a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch the new Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus when it comes out?
We filmed it actually at my company that I work for.
Oh wow.
I
Get
don't
some
know.
insider info. No, I'm
I know the location of the studio that
yeah.
it was filmed at. I know the coordinates or the address, but
Yeah.
no. I mean, that's the thing when I tell people that I work at a film studio, they're like, "Do you ever get to meet celebrities?" I'm like, "Nope. I sit at a desk."
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the trucks, the big film trucks and the big film trailers will come to me for the lights, and then they go to set.
Mhm.
And then they come back if something's broken or they're done.
Yeah.
So, and I just make sure that everyone's got their budgets in order. So it's just
Mhm.
inputting numbers. It's not very extravagant, but hey, it's required. If it gets good reviews and it has a good trailer, then yes. But I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it. I've never even seen the movies.
Okay. I am looking forward to it. I read the first book in like a day. Like actually, for real, I read it in a day in the summer, way back in the day, and then I enjoyed the first movie growing up, even though it wasn't accurate, and I did not like the second movie. But I am excited for the show. I know my girlfriend is very, very excited, so we'll watch that for sure. Mr. Movie Nerd with another sort of animated question: what's your like favorite animated movie overall? No studio holding it down.
A Goofy movie,
Okay.
1995.
Yeah, I was gonna move my computer to show you a pop that to reveal, but I don't want to mess up my mic. The Lion King for me, but Shout out Ratatouille. That's really high up there for me right now.
Mm-hmm. What's your pop figure? Is it Simba?
It's the VHS one. It's like the I'll try. You know what? If the mic goes out, it's a risk I'm willing to take. Let's see.
All right, here we go.
It's right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Ben from Meters Reviews actually sent that to me for my birthday. So shout out Ben.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Right on.
Very kind of him. And it's now permanently in the background of my videos.
Oh, is that Daniel LaRusso back there?
I do. Yeah, I got Daniel and John.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Nice.
Yes. So
let's see. I got 3. I have 3. I only bought 1 because I told myself if I buy 1, I'm gonna buy a bunch. But I only bought the Disney World 50th anniversary Mickey. So I got right back there. So I got Darth Maul, Mickey, and then I got Jack Sparrow behind the Mickey Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow's a good one.
Yeah, that one was actually a gift from a subscriber. So that was my very first one. So I'm like, okay, well, now I have a collection.
It begins. Yeah, they're addicting. They're just so fun. And the app, and you can like track your wish list and everything. I'm obsessed. I have a good bit, but my girlfriend has even more. So
I was just about to say, does Cam have a lot?
She has even more than I do. She has like over 100. I think I have close to 100, which is crazy, but they're all spread out. Like there's some back here, but there's a good, like a whole wall and like glass shelf over there.
Here's a question. What was your first and what's your favorite?
My first ever Funko Pop was actually, it was, I want to say it was Kylo Ren or Rey from like the Force Awakens era way back in the day. I got it later. My friend had some out of box and he gave me one, but the first one I take that back. The first one I was gifted, there was 2. It was Marty McFly and Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming. It was the 2017 Valentine's Day gift, I want to say. Something like that. So yeah.
Right on.
Yes. My favorite though is, let me do this again.
What is it? The Lion King one?
It's actually, I got it for my birthday. It's a rare pop. It's Indiana Jones, Disney Parks exclusive, and it's technically him from the Temple of Doom at the end when he's got his sleeves ripped and the machete. So.
You know what? I think you've told me about that one before. I remember now that you've told me about that one. That's awesome. That's a sick one.
My dream pop, I know you didn't ask, but my dream pop is
it's the next one in the line.
It's the Raiders of the Lost Ark indie. It's like super rare, but it's him with the idol and the whip.
Mm-hmm. I almost bought one on the weekend. I was at Cineplex, which is like our AMC, and they had Harry Potter from Chamber of Secrets when he had like a broken, like he had the arm, and it was $20, and I'm like, nope, I'm okay. I almost did it though. Almost did it.
Yeah, they're addicting, and Harry Potter's got a ton of good ones. Let's see. We'll probably go for a few more minutes, take a few more questions. So fire off some good ones, and we'll get them in. And again, if you want to guarantee that we do get to it, Super Chat is the way to go.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Eventually, we'll have to like start like a Star Wars podcast because we were like going off there.
Yeah.
For a minute.
That'd be fun, dude. Like a Jedi Sith Council type deal or something would be fun.
The real Jedi Council, unlike those idiots at Collider, the show. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, let's see. Hold up, Brando. I think I saw you on Jay Vader's Q&A.
A long time ago, yeah.
Okay.
I've been on his channel before. I'm the guy who asked your something
favorite
movie that is in live action. Okay, gotcha. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily remember every question I've ever been asked on live streams.
And I will say too, like I answer questions differently depending on the day. I just broke a pen on accident, by the way. That's what that was. But
do you ever have like people who go, "You remember me?" and you're like,
I honestly, if it's someone who's been in multiple, I'll have a recollection. But sometimes someone who changes their username, I'll be like, huh, I don't. But for the most part, I'm actually pretty good at like being like, oh yeah, that was back then.
Well, there's one person who kept on saying it like every live stream. You remember me? And I'm like, yeah, you're the guy who keeps saying remember.
I had a guy, I don't know if he's in here right now, but he would ask about like, when will Taco Bell make a movie? And it was like,
that's him. That's
really,
him.
really.
That's him.
That's incredible. Like
that's
every
exactly
stream
who we're talking is.
For like 100 times, and then it's like, yes. How could I ever forget?
When will KFC make a movie?
Yeah.
When will McDonald's make a movie? That was him. Yeah. Small world. Small world.
That's funny.
Shout out to you if you're here.
I think it was Network 98. I want to say was like at one point a username, but I could be wrong there.
You're exactly right. Yeah. Shout out Network 98.
Yeah. There we go. All right. That was funny, man. Oh man, Cobra Kai line you quote the most. I like to say "quiet" when Johnny yells that, but other than that, yeah.
The one scene that like always pops in my head was when the LaRusso boy, like Sam's
Anthony,
younger brother, Anthony, when he got in trouble and like Daniel like finds his iPad because it's like he wasn't supposed to have it, and he just like smashes it over his knee, and then I forget what he says. I forget what the line is, but like I always remember that scene. It's like, hell yeah, bet you go LaRusso. Yeah, you show that kid who's boss.
Yeah, that's a great little moment. Thoughts on Invincible season 2?
Haven't seen season 1.
Haven't seen season 1? Okay. I really like season 1, but it's another one of those shows that, and that's just the way it is nowadays. I watched it, I enjoyed it, and then I haven't watched it since. But I watched the little tease they put out. I will be watching season 2, but I'll have to rewatch season 1 because there's a good chunk of that show that I kind of don't remember. I remember the big moments, but like I'm blanking on a lot of stuff from that.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like, I think because when you consume so much content, it's gotta be fantastic for you to really think about it and really, that's when people ask me, "Do you watch special features?" And I go, only for movies that I really love or that really impact me. Like I saw Dances with Wolves not too long ago for the first time, and it blew me away. And then it's like, yeah, I'll watch those special features. But like a 2 out of 5 movie, not a chance.
No way. Like I'll seek out on YouTube old clips from like the prequel behind the scenes. I've seen like a bunch of those.
Oh yeah.
Like the training for Revenge of the Sith. I never get sick of that.
Oh yeah. Those are some of the best behind the scenes videos from the prequel.
Seeing like Ewan McGregor like pick out the lightsaber hilt. I don't know if you've seen that video, but there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Lego game? Did you play any?
I played the Lego Star Wars games. I played Lego Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean. I think you got to go with Star Wars. I haven't played the newest one. A subscriber said that he did buy it for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
Said, it should have been here, but it's been like a month, so he might have been lying. I don't know. But that's on the playlist. But I've played those ones. I'd say the Star Wars ones are my favorite.
Okay, yeah. Lego Star Wars is the best for me. The complete saga is so fun. And then shout out Lego Pirates and Lego Indiana Jones.
Yeah, those are the ones I've played. I haven't played Lego Batman. Haven't played. All right, Lego Harry Potter though is
I missed out on Lego Harry Potter. But I want to play. I've never played Lord of the Rings, but I would love to play Lego Lord of the Rings.
That's right. Cool. I haven't played that one either.
Yeah. But I'll probably take this. This seems to be a good final question. We're almost at an hour and a half. Yeah. From Jason Cruz, the man. He says, "Where's the best place to get affordable Blu-rays? They can be pretty pricey." You're damn right they can be. I have kind of not stopped buying Blu-rays, but like definitely taken a step back from buying physical media lately because I got in a bad habit of like just buying in like 2021, 2020. I would buy like the new release day one, and that's like pricey, especially with a lot of these movies going to streaming. Like I'm not anti-physical media by any means. I love my Blu-ray collection, but I'm very picky now. I know you have some experience with some good deals on Blu-rays though, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, like my rule is that I never buy a Blu-ray full price. That is my rule. And it's like $15 like max. Very rarely will I buy a movie like over $20. I did splurge on RoboCop, the Arrow Video 4K. It was 50% off, but then extra shipping international because it was from US to Canada and the conversion. So I ended up spending like $65 on it anyway. I'm like, oh God. Just one. For me, Facebook Marketplace, you never know. Some guys might just be wanting to get rid of their collection. Just go, here, take the whole thing, $20. And there's like 40 movies in there. And they're not bad movies either. Amazon, they always have pretty good prices. And I know that America has better deals on Blu-rays than other countries do. And then local video stores, like there's one locally here called Willow Video Games, and they have everything from 4K to VHS, laser discs. They have vinyl records, they have CDs, they have every video game console under the sun, and they trade in as well. So if I ever like buy a Blu-ray or a 4K for something that I have a DVD for, I'll trade it in, and then eventually I'll get like that money and I can spend it on another Blu-ray or another 4K or another video game or whatever. But I know that there are stores like that everywhere. So I would say like used video game / movie stores, Amazon, and don't forget about like flea markets
Yeah.
and garage sales. Like, unless you want your movies brand new, then forget about it. You are going to be spending full price, or just, movies that are on sale on Amazon. But yeah, those are the spots that I do, at least.
I would say those are all very good suggestions. I would add on, I don't know if you touched on this one, but like eBay for me is one that I remember when I was building out my MCU collection back in the day, I
Mhm.
wanted to find like I didn't like the way they had re-released the artwork, so I wanted like the original artwork. And
Yeah.
you can like and you can do it on Mercari as well. You can like submit a price and see if they approve it or not. And I would always like I remember getting like a bunch of MCU movies for like $5 to $10 on eBay. So um,
Interesting.
eBay is a good place to go for cheaper. Best Buy, a little pricier, excuse me, but
Mhm.
yeah, I kind of like that rule. I definitely think I might have to put that into play now. Like, never buy a full price because they go on sale like a month after, usually for a few bucks cheaper. And I
Yeah.
never like I got to the point where I was buying new releases day one, and I just didn't watch them for like a year. Even they would sit there. So I don't know why I was doing it.
Yeah. Toto just said, I don't understand the point of buying Blu-ray or 4K or even a DVD if you are not going to watch special features.
Hmm.
See, I understand that point. Like, to me, my own personal point or opinion on this is like, if you buy it on physical media, you are buying not only the movie in its best possible quality, but you're also buying the packaging,
Yeah.
right? You're also buying the special features, and like you're buying like the experience of it. Like, if that's why people sometimes will buy the steel book or the
Yep.
special edition. Like,
Yep.
every single thing should be on there. The 3D version, if you have that available, the 4K, the best possible quality, every single special feature. um yeah, I hate when it's just the one disc where it's like it's got the movie and chapter selection. I don't Forget
That's
about it.
how a lot of movies I have are, honestly. Like that I would
Me
just
too.
the $5 bin at Walmart we have like
Yeah, yeah, we
um
all know that one.
yep. So yeah. But I think that'll do it for this
Yeah,
live stream. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the discussion.
yeah, me too.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah. And yeah, Chris, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah.
And I'm not kissing ass, guys, but out of all my friends on YouTube, I think your channel is my favorite because you're the one that I
Thank
actually
you.
watch the most. Because
That means a lot,
like
man.
the shorts, it's very easy to consume,
Thank you.
and with the new camera angle and the new text, like it's 100,000 subscribers this year, like easy.
I appreciate those kind words, man. I've had a lot of fun with shorts lately, trying to flip the script, as I say. That really inspired me. But I really do appreciate that, man. And let the people know, where they can find you. I know a lot of people said they wouldn't sub, but BrandoCritic himself. Let's hear it. Everything linked down below, by the way.
Yes. Well, thank you for much. Thank you so much for. It's late. I got to eat some dinner. But yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's always a blast to talk movies. I think that you and I both think very similar about movies. Um, in terms of where you guys can find me, the same handle at BrandoCritic. YouTube is where you can find my most recent or my main content. It's mostly just the reviews of the newer movies coming out because I do have a deal with one of the local companies, so they send me to the movies to all the press screenings that they do. They don't do them all the time. Marvel is being weird with Canada. They're mostly just giving them to Toronto. But I'm seeing Ant-Man next week, so we'll see how that goes. And then you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok and on Letterboxd, all at BrandoCritic. So it's mostly the newer movies, but if there's nothing coming out that I want to see or there's no screenings for, then you'll find the older classic reviews. And I'm also doing some shorts as well. So if I see a movie that I'm not going to do a big video on, then I'll do a short for it. And I have
Yeah.
quite a few shorts lined up. And yeah, you can thank this man for inspiring me to do more short content.
Thank you, man. I've seen some of your stuff lately. I definitely like short content it's like you mentioned, it's a lot easier to consume. And that's the world we live in now where like everyone's like boom, boom, attention span, scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Short
Yeah.
content I watch the most short content. honestly like more than long form nowadays. So yeah,
Mhm.
I dig it, man. The shorts that you put out, and I think that it is probably the future of content creation, but long form's not
Yeah.
going anywhere, obviously. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Absolutely. And I think it just gives you more, like, if you do those like movies that you think will make $1 billion, like the long form content, well, you can say exactly what you're going to say like that,
Hmm.
a lot faster to produce
Yeah,
and a lot easier to consume, which means more numbers,
this is very true. This
you
is
know?
true.
So it's
And it
like,
seems as though YouTube itself as a platform is like trying to directly compete with, TikTok and Instagram. So it's going to
yeah.
be an interesting 2023, guys. It really is. We'll see what the hell happens for everybody, especially in the game that is YouTube. But make sure to go follow Brandon on all of his stuff. Link down below again. Subscribe to his channel. I see a lot of you guys said going to watch his vids now. So yeah, go watch him. Drop a like and comment and subscribe on all of his stuff. He puts out great high quality content. But that's going to do it for this live stream. Thank you again. I cannot speak.
You and me
But thank you
both,
guys.
pal.
Yeah. But thank you guys again. And hope you guys have a great night. We're close to the Super Bowl. We're close to a new MCU movie. Lots to look out for. So we will see you guys, in the next video, next stream, next short. Peace.